Hey everyone, this is Stephen Strong at Cast Iron Cookware, where you can find information to help you better collect, restore, and use cast iron cookware. Today I'm going to be talking about the history of Birmingham Stove and Range, and we're going to be doing that coming right up. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's purchased my product, Easy Beezy Cast Iron Seasoning. The purchase of this product helps keep this channel going, and I just want to say thank you so very much. Now let's get on into our video. Since I've started collecting cast iron cookware, and because I live in Alabama, I decided to start collecting Birmingham Stove and Range because I thought it would be a little easier to collect and not quite as hard or expensive as maybe collecting Griswold or something like that. But as I learned more about Birmingham Stove and Range, I learned that Birmingham Stove and Range was amazing cookware. Generally, Birmingham Stove and Range has a few telltale signs, especially for their skillets. You have this really dominant ridge on the underside of the handle, and you have the teardrop shaped hanger hole. And the red mountain pieces, especially the older ones, are hand scribed and they have a mold mark. But other than that, you will not see Birmingham Stove and Range stamped or printed on very many pieces. Those are really special and unique. Later on in the manufacturing of Birmingham Stove and Range, you have the Century series where you have the more descriptive font. But we're just going to talk about the foundry and talk about some dates and just kind of go through the history of Birmingham Stove and Range for you who are interested in Birmingham Stove and Range. So I'm going to do some reading, maybe show some pictures while I'm doing some reading so you don't have to watch me read. But I'm just going to go through the history, and I hope that you enjoy it, and we'll just follow the timeline, beginning with Atlanta Stoveworks. Atlanta Stoveworks, foundation and early years. In 1888, during a town hall meeting in Atlanta, discussions arose about establishing a new stoveworks. Although the planning details are unclear, it seemed that a collaboration between the railroad and the AEI manufacturing played a key role. In 1889, John Dickey founded Georgia Stove Works, appointing Thomas Jeffries as secretary and treasurer. In 1893, Dickey sold the company at a public auction to Calvin Wellborn Honeycutt, a wealthy businessman. Honeycutt led the formation of a new board of directors, with Alexander S. Seals as president and general manager. Dickey stayed on as secretary and treasurer while Jeffries became vice president. Around this time, the company was renamed Atlanta Stoveworks, ASW. Between 1893 and 1899, Seals acquired majority shares in the company. In 1898, Samuel D. Jones became an investor in Atlanta Stoveworks. Following Alexander Seals' death in 1899, Jones, his brother, Bowling Jones, purchased 82% of the company's stock, solidifying their leadership. Samuel D. Jones became president, ushering in a period of strategic innovation. Atlanta Stoveworks began producing some cookware alongside its primary product, heating stoves, with their Barrett range, sparking a demand for compatible hollowware. Limited production space led to the decision to expand operations. Atlanta Stoveworks was the parent or the beginnings of Birmingham Stove and Range. They didn't have a lot of room, so they needed to come up with another place to make their hollowware, the skillets, Dutch ovens, things like that. So the decision was made to open up a foundry just for the purpose of hollowware. In 1902, Atlanta Stoveworks established a second site in Birmingham, Alabama, called the Alabama Manufacturing Company, AMC, to produce hollowware and stoves. Birmingham offered abundant high-grade iron ore, ideal for manufacturing. Samuel D. Jones served as president of both Atlanta Stoveworks and Alabama Manufacturing Company, with S.T. Price as general manager of AMC. To improve efficiency, AMC adopted the rim pour method of casting, which allowed multiple pieces to be poured simultaneously without the large gate mark scar typically found on earlier cast iron cookware. Though records of these early pieces are scarce, AMC laid the foundation for future innovations in cast iron cookware production. In 1909, AMC was renamed Birmingham Stove and Range, BSR, to distance the company's branding from the state name, which was tied to prison labor practices. It is believed that as many as 80 inmates were leased to work alongside regular employees. In 1915, a fire destroyed the original BSR foundry, which was built on a new site at 27th Avenue North and Huntsville Road, now Shuttlesworth Drive. The new facility was fully operational by 1917, marking a significant era of growth and innovation. This period saw the introduction of design features like triangle handles and pour spouts on the Dutch ovens and chicken fryers. The company's in-house pattern shop allowed for unique hand-scribed designs and experimentation, leading to pieces collectors now associate with the Gap era, 1917 through 1930. In 1922, BSR began expanding into gas range production, branding their wood and coal-fired ranges as the Red Mountain Series. By 1930, the Red Mountain Series cookware line officially launched, featuring uniform lettering and refined nipples. The company's innovative designs and craftsmanship made their products staples in American kitchens. It's about this time where Hunter automation began. It was a step up from hand pouring every individual piece in the floor, and they were able to increase production. The Century Series, introduced between 1950 and 1954, marked a shift to higher, more modern cookware. BSR was among the first foundries to adopt automated molding processes, installing its first Distomatic molding machine in 1965. By 1968, BSR had 8 Distomatic machines running, making it the most mechanized cast iron cookware producer in the United States. During this era, BSR produced more cast iron than any other foundry worldwide. Through its history, BSR introduced notable products like the Sportsman's Grill in the 1930s, the Lady Best series in the 1970s. The company also created unique pieces such as the 8-wedge cornbread skillet in 1967. The cornbread skillet was an amazing item produced at Birmingham Stove and Range, and it was their invention. The story goes, the wife of one of the foremen or one of the floor supervisors said, "I would like to have a skillet that has dividers in it. Not like the cornstick pans, but more like a skillet with dividers." And they kind of tinkered around with that idea and came up with the cornbread skillet. And that year, it became their biggest seller and made a big dent in helping Birmingham Stove and Range be profitable. That particular year, they decided to put patent pending on the skillet with hopes that it wouldn't be copied, but it didn't work. Everybody wanted to copy it because it was an amazing invention. So about 2 years later, they started putting Made in USA and dropped the patent pending. They did come up with a 6-wedge version, which was a lot smaller, more like the size of a number 3, and production of that piece wasn't as widespread as the 8-wedge. And in the 1980s, Birmingham Stove and Range came out with the Handy Dan cornstick pan, which is pretty much a cornstick pan with a handle on the side of it. Leadership transitions including Bowling Jones II, presidency in the 1930s, Sanders Jones II, leadership in 1970s. The Jones family stewardship ended in 1984 when the family chose to divest and Oscar Wisely became president. In 1987, Atlanta Stoveworks and BSR were sold to Martin Industries, a heating equipment company based in Florence, Alabama. However, Martin faced financial struggles in the 1990s, filing for bankruptcy in 2002. BSR, renamed AB Foundry, closed its doors in 1991 and filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 1993, marking the end of an era. BSR's innovations, such as mechanized production and their iconic Red Mountain and Century Series cookware, remain influential. Their pieces are highly sought after by collectors and enthusiasts for their durability, smooth cooking surface, and historical significance. Both Atlanta Stoveworks and Birmingham Stove and Range represents a proud chapter in American manufacturing, reflecting the ingenuity and craftsmanship of a bygone era. Their legacy lives on in the homes of collections and cast iron aficionados worldwide. So I hope that you've enjoyed some of these pieces, especially the slideshow while I was doing some reading. There's a whole lot more information, a lot more pieces than the ones that I mentioned. If this sparked your interest in Birmingham Stove and Range, check out my other videos. I have a lot of videos on Birmingham Stove and Range because BSR is my favorite. So I tried to share as much information as I possibly could. I know there's a lot of information that either I don't know or just didn't have time to put in here. And to the best of my ability, I tried to make sure the information is as accurate as possible. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I promise I'll keep more coming. And I just want to say thank you for watching Cast Iron Cookware. Before you go, I would like to share something with you really quickly. In Joshua chapter 1, verse 8 and 9, it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success." I just want to say, share the word and be a blessing.